we always talk about kids not having respect, right?
Right.
And you know what? The kids don't respect this. This generation doesn't respect that. And it's true. They don't. Why is that? I'm going to tell you why. It's a lot of things. But when I see people that have a public voice that participate and encourage disrespect,
Right.
I got to call it out.
Okay.
And so that's what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Music, hip hop music
Mm-hmm.
has no age. Hip hop is new as a genre.
It is.
But it has no age. There are older people that like hip hop and hip hop music.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, younger people like hip hop and like hip hop music, right?
Yes.
So if you contrast that with rock and roll music or other but let's say rock and roll specifically, older groups can make music and it's accepted in that genre, right? You got like the Rolling Stones. You got all these different types of groups that have history, Kiss, just a bunch of them, right? They make music. It's all good. You got young people that go to their shows. The older people that are into that music are not coming down on these legacy acts that continuously make music, right?
Yeah.
But hip hop, oh my God. If somebody does hip hop and they say they're over 35, right? They're over 35. People are coming at them like, yo, why you still rapping? Yo, you ain't made it yet. Why you still rapping? You should do something else.
Right.
Why?
Why?
Why do they have to do something else?
Why do they have to do something else?
They don't.
They don't.
Now, let's be even more specific than that. Let's talk about our rap legends, right? Redman still makes music.
Yes, he does.
EPMD still makes music. Keith Murray still makes music. And what brought this whole topic up for me was LL Cool J. Now, LL Cool J is one of the top 10 greatest, maybe top 5 or 6. Okay.
Right.
Set a lot of records.
Yeah.
Sold a lot of records.
Yes, he did.
An icon.
Yeah.
Should never be disrespected. And as it relates to music.
This is true.
The Beatles, those dudes, Paul McCartney and those dudes, they still make records and they way older than LL Cool J.
Right.
None of those white radio hosts. What's the guy? Ryan Seacrest. He wouldn't get on the radio talking crazy about Paul McCartney.
He would not.
No, he would not. Nope. Paul McCartney makes a record. This is a guy from the Beatles, if for our younger viewers and listeners. If Paul McCartney makes a record, none of those white disc jockeys are going to talk crazy about Paul McCartney.
Right.
Okay?
That's true.
But you have some people in the hip hop community, specifically Charlamagne from The Breakfast Club.
Okay.
I like the show. Okay? I get it. They do good cop, they do bad cop, and then they do the girl, right?
Right.
Envy's usually the good cop. Charlamagne's usually the bad cop. And the girl comes in and kind of balances things out. Angela Yee. I didn't mean to call her the girl. Okay, because my problem is not with DJ Envy, and my problem is not with Angela Yee. My problem is with Charlamagne. Now, I understand his shtick, right? His shtick is, just talk crazy about people and do that thing. But the problem that I have is they have a major voice. Mm-hmm. When you have a major voice, you can shape public opinion. So they have young people that listen to them.
Right.
And he gets on and he talks crazy about LL Cool J, who recently did a freestyle. Right. And I guess he's motivated. And he did a freestyle over Dr. Dre beat. I like the freestyle. And it has got some attention for LL Cool J. Okay. They talked about it on the show. And let's listen to what Charlamagne said, and then let's come back and talk about it. So here is what Charlamagne had to say about LL Cool J coming out of retirement.
LL Cool J is a legend. He is an icon. Right. Nobody can ever take that away from him. But we do not need to hear him rap in 2016. It's like just some things just run its course,
but
bro.
There's some things for everybody.
Would you like to hear him do country music?
No, we heard how that went too when he did Pumps in a bump like grind. Donald Trump, no friend of mine. Let's take you back to 89. Yo, stop it. Stop it, man. I hate this guy right here. Hello, who's this?
All right. Okay, enough. Okay, so it went on like that. You get the thing. So he's saying that he's too old. Saying you already did your thing. You'll mess up your legacy, etc., etc. Now, the problem that I have with that is that there should not be an age limit on music. For the people that are 40 years old,
right?
They listen to, whatever it was that was popping, let's say in the 90s. Like that's like their favorite music.
Right.
They should still be able to listen to that music. If you get a certain age, you shouldn't just have to switch and now I listen to Parliament and Funkadelic and I can't listen to hip hop anymore.
Right. You shouldn't.
Right. And you shouldn't necessarily be listening to the stuff that your kids are listening to either.
No, you should not.
And you shouldn't have to listen to old school if you don't want to.
Right.
You should be able to listen to music that's age appropriate for you, which would be artists that you grew up listening to.
Right.
So Redman making music, LL making music, Dr. Dre making music, Snoop is from that generation, basically.
Right.
Him making music, whoever it is. If somebody wants to make music, part of the problem with the hip hop industry is that whatever is old is whack.
Right.
We got to push it away.
And it's thrown away and, forgotten about. And, oh, you're whack. You're not current anymore.
Right.
Which is not true.
Right. Now let's go back to Charlamagne. Okay. So Charlamagne is not a music person. He's never made music. So I expect this type of ignorance from him. So I'm gonna put it in terms that he probably could understand better. He would not disrespect a radio legend after they got a certain age, somebody that paved the way for him. Right. So let's say like Wendy Williams, because Charlamagne was the cup carrier, the coffee go-getter, you know what I mean, the footstool fetcher for Wendy Williams. For many years.
Wow, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I did not.
So the reason why people even know who Charlamagne is because Wendy Williams allowed him to be fuckboy number one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So he wouldn't talk crazy about her because she put him on, right?
Okay.
So he should apply that same type of mentality for rappers.
Oh, my.
Right?
Yeah.
Because these are our rappers. So 10, 15 years from now, when he's old, quote unquote old, should people throw him to the side?
I don't think he would want them to.
They would. Using his logic. I'm saying using his logic.
Using his logic, yes. Yes. If he's still not current, if he's still not doing his show and shows it, I don't know, he has his own network and everything, they probably will forget about him.
Yeah. Hip hop has to stop pushing away its stars because of age.
Right.
And you have the whole thing is that when you have a catalog of music, you can still do shows. You can kind of sprinkle in some new music. Yes. And of course, the new music is not going to be as iconic as the classic music, but they should still be able to make music. Right. They should still be able to get play on air, on radio stations. If they incorporated some older artists who were making new music, I think that would increase listenership of terrestrial radio.
Yes.
So I ran into this lady today. Another reason why I wanted to talk about this. So a white lady, middle-aged, about 50-ish, and she was really happy because she said, "Are you going?" White people just kind of just talk to me. She didn't know me. She's just talking. So she said, "Are you going out for St. Patrick's Day?" So I said, "No, I'm actually doing a mix on my show,
right,
on RadioOnFire. So check it out if you're into hip hop." So she said, "I'm not into hip hop. I'm into rock and roll."
Okay.
So I said, "That's fine. I won't be mixing any rock and roll, but it's all good." And so she was saying that she was going to go out, but now she's not going out because she has to take her kids out. She has to take her kids out. So she said she bought her kids AC/DC tickets.
Okay.
Now AC/DC is rock and roll group from back in the day. So I said AC/DC tickets. So how old are your kids?
Right.
She said that they're 15 and 19.
Right.
and they love AC/DC and some of these classic groups. And that's why I said, do they listen to current rock and roll? She said, yes, he listens to that too. And so my thing was, it's so crazy that these teenagers are into AC/DC,
Right.
who are from the 90s.
Exactly.
And they're teenagers.
Right. Which means they weren't really born.
They definitely were not, or they were very young.
Yeah.
They were very young.
Yeah.
So my point is that, and there are a lot of stories like that. But with hip hop, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, the kids are rejecting what we know are the classics because we don't teach them to respect the classics.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. So people like Charlamagne, who gets, so I mean, I get he does the funny shtick thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's time to be serious, because when Minister Farrakhan was there, oh, he shut up and he was listening. He wasn't talking crazy about Farrakhan, right? Farrakhan is a musician. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so my thing is that under no circumstances should you be, now, I mean, I understand if a song is whack, right?
Right.
I may not like that song, but I guarantee you, like, everybody that's come up there that is old school, quote unquote, it's been out for years, he got something slick to say about it. Mm. Now, when Onyx was up there, he's not
gonna say anything.
Well, I mean, it almost got ugly, but whatever. Yeah. But my point is that people like Charlamagne, who have a platform, should take that opportunity to not encourage people to disrespect the rap legends, but the rap legends should be respected. Right. And if radio doesn't respect them, the kids are listening to radio, then they're not going to respect them. But you take it a step further, and it's not only that they're not going to respect the rappers, but they're not going to respect you after a certain age. Right. They don't respect anything. And even the current rappers, their mindset is screwed up for the people that paved the way for them because they're quote unquote old. So it's confusing to me.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I don't think it should be an age limit for rappers if you can make good music.
Right. I mean, listen, there are, pardon me, there are, in regards to that, people, there are ski trips that I've gone on, okay, where there were the Fabulous Five were there, Dougie Fresh was there, Chubb Rock was there. So, and these people, I mean, they performed as if it was not a ski trip. They performed as if this was Carnegie Hall or something. Right. And they gave it their all. And I was just like, wow, these are legends. These people are sampling music from these people. Right. So a lot of times they're sampling music and the kids don't even know, oh, this is the original. This is the original person. Okay. So my kids are young. My oldest is 15. Bankroll. Okay. So for them,
Bankroll is a Baltimore record by a rapper named Tim Trees here.
Exactly. Now, Tim Trees is by no means old school. He's middle school, if you will. So for
so I mean, Tim Trees came out here, and for our listeners that are out of Baltimore, he had a very good run. He still makes music, still doing that. Came out in the early 2000s here in Baltimore.
So, for my sons, I mean, he's 15, so he was the baby. If not, I don't even think I was carrying him when Tim Trees actually, came out with that song. So he, we're in the car and we're talking about it, and I was like, this is not Tickle Baines. He sampled this from blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, well, who's that? So this has to be a learning situation. You can't just throw away these people, because they're not, they're not doing, what is it? Hit the Quano, some type stuff, right? That's current right now. Right. Listen, these people have paved the way for these newer artists to come in and do what they do. So yeah, I don't agree with it. People can have their opinion. That's his platform if that's what he chooses to do with it. But it's kind of, it's kind of disheartening to the legend. I mean,
and it's irresponsible journalism.
As being in the media.
Yes, it's irresponsible journalism because at the end of the day, it's going to come back around, and so that's my thoughts on that. So I do want to say that I was pleased with what LL Cool J did, and I hope that other legendary figures continue to do music and do not fall or become discouraged by people like Charlamagne. So
Right.